Welcome to Right Development MDT Showcase. To open the MDT, simply do /MDT. This will show you 4 main windows. To begin, we will have a look at the duty menu all the way to the right. Here you can see everyone that is on duty with MDT access and their job, status, and call sign. At the top you will see all different job types that have been registered in the config. By pressing a job type, you can filter to only see the people on duty with a job of a certain type. You can also partner up units by dragging a unit to someone else. The 2 units will then be displayed in the MDT as partners and have one status. If you right-click any unit, you will be able to ping them, which means a waypoint will be set to their location, change their call sign, or change radio channel. If the unit is a partner to someone else, you will be presented with one more option to remove them as a partner and display them yet again as their own unit. If you press any unit status, you will be presented with a menu where you can change that unit status. This menu can be dragged around all over the screen, and you can have multiple status menus open for different units at the same time. Moving over to the left, you have another menu where you can quickly change your own status. This menu also has a couple of buttons that will open menus that you may use often. To start, you can open a menu where you can see all the 10 codes. Right next to that, you can open a menu to view all the penal codes. To view the codes under one title, simply press the title. If you want to see information of a specific penal code, simply press that penal code and an informative window will be open. Going back to this menu, you can also begin to create a BOLO. By default, this will open with 3 informative boxes for BOLO title, BOLO person's name, and BOLO vehicle plate. The 2 last ones can be removed, and you can add however many boxes you want. You can also add some general notes to the BOLO. Then, to create the Be on the Lookout, simply press Add. It will then appear in the BOLO box, and you can view and modify the BOLO by pressing the I. To save your modifications, simply press Save. If you want to remove a BOLO, press the cross. To the right of the BOLO box, you will see a similar box for active calls. To create a new call, press the drop-down on the left of the top bar. A menu very similar to the BOLO Create menu will then be displayed. When you add a call, it will appear similar to BOLO in the calls list. When you open a calls info, it will still be very similar to BOLO info. However, in the top right, you can expand the menu to see attached units. To attach or detach from a call, you can press the 3rd button in the calls list. In the Calls Info menu, you will also have an arrow in the top left. By pressing this arrow, a waypoint will be added to the origin of the call. Going up again, there's one more button to create a warrant. The Warrant Create menu is a little bit different. To add a person to the warrant, press the person icon and look the person up in the person search menu. To add charges, press the plus and you can show the charges by pressing the charges text. You can also here add some general notes about the warrant if you wish to. Moving on to the left, you can open Person Search. To look someone up, search their name and press them once they show up in the search menu. In the personal info box, you can see some general info about the person as well as change their mugshot, alias, and some general notes about them. Moving to the right, you can first see all vehicles registered to the person. Right under that, you can see all firearms registered to the person. Moving down further, you have all the person's properties. By pressing the arrow to the right, you can set a waypoint to the person's property. Under the properties, you can see any potential active warrants that the person may have. To view the warrant, simply press the I and press the cross to remove the warrant. Under the warrant, you can see all the citations the person has. If you use this script together with our citation script, it will look like it does in the showcase. The green dot means that the citation has been paid or is still pending, and if it is red, the citation is late. You can also see the officer that issued the citation and the fine amount. You can also press the I to see the citation in more detail. If you don't use our citation script, you will simply see the officer that issued the citation and the fine amount. Under the citations, you can see all reports that the person is involved in. Going back to the left, you can also see the person's flags and licenses. To add a license, press the drop-down and press Add, and then press the flag you want to add, and to remove a flag, press the cross. The licenses work in a very similar way. To save all the modifications made in the left column, press the drop-down for the general info box and press Save. All of these menus also come with a similar drop-down where you can detach the menus to drag them around and compare the info in some other menu. Going back to the vehicles, firearms, and reports, you can press the I to open them to see more information. When you are viewing a report, you can start a new report by pressing the drop-down and then New. To the right, you can add civilians, criminals, officers, vehicles, and firearms. To do this, press their respective drop-down and then New and search them up in the search menu that opens. For all civilians, you can press the I to add a statement. Likewise, for criminals, you can add notes and charges, and for vehicles and firearms, you can also add some general notes in a similar fashion. To the left, you can also add evidence. Here you have two options, either an item or an image. To take an image, use the evidence camera item and press enter. The image will then be saved onto the camera and you can view it and add it in the MDT. For items, you simply have to choose an item in your inventory. You can then view the rosters by pressing roster in the sidebar. Here I have added a lot of duplicates to give you a better idea of what it would look like. If you scroll down, you can see all the rosters for the different jobs and some information about all employees. At the top, you can also press a certain job and you will be scrolled up to where that job's roster starts. Also in the top right, you can update the roster if anything isn't up to date. If you are a boss for the job, you can also view and change some information about the employee by pressing the eye on the right. The last sidebar menu is called Map. Here you can view the map and see the security cameras, units, and calls. Just as with the roster, you can update the map by pressing Update. By pressing a call, you can view the call info. To the left, you can hide blips if, for example, a call blip blocks a unit blip that you want to press. And by pressing a unit, you can see some info about the unit. Here you can also open the call the unit is attached to and set a waypoint to the unit. Lastly, if you press a camera, you will connect and view the security camera.